But what were you saying about Argentina?
It's a great place.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Why'd you leave?
Uh, Socialism, brother. Inflation.
Fair. That's a fair point. You want to go really bad though.
Yeah, I want to live there. But I could
I mean,
totally
you want to live there with your dollar.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could totally understand being from there. There's just not the same opportunity. It's very bureaucratic.
I'm making a move out to Bali.
Okay.
I'm gonna do what I call staycations. So when I go is I find a country every single year and I'll just spend like 2 to 3 months there as a to go to place. Last year I did Croatia. I spent 3 months in Croatia just like living in a house, meeting the locals, like being part of the culture. It's pretty fire.
Nice.
Uh, and this year I'm gonna do Bali, just kind of
That's dope.
seeing
Didn't
what
they
it's like
just
to live in
change
other
the
spots.
law there?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But the issue is if you're an American, taxes follow you anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like people say Bali and all this stuff, but brother, Uncle Sam will get his coin whether you like it or not. So
Always.
One way or another.
so the best alternative is Puerto Rico, but then obviously what I said about opportunity cost.
Hmm.
So I was talking to a buddy of mine who was also moved to Puerto Rico. He was one of the first guys that ever moved there. And I was talking to him the other day. I was like, "Yo, was it worth it? Was the move worth it because of taxes, whatever?" He's like, "Well, let me tell you something. At the same time that I did the move to Puerto Rico for my 0% tax, my one of my co-founders or a guy that I was doing business with, uh, decided to stay in Texas, right? And he built a company because he had access to more people, more connections, more information. And yeah, he ended up paying more in taxes, but he had made more than
Because of
my
the
buddy
connections.
because of the positioning that he had kind of taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Whereby, yeah, you save money on taxes, but what's the opportunity cost? What are you leaving on the table as opposed to the taxes? And that's why taxes shouldn't always be the metric as to why you do something.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it. You should be beyond
I've seen a lot of people
the
talk.
tax bill. Yeah.
A lot of people, like Hormozy was talking about that. I think Cardone's talked about it before.
It's all about strategy,
Yeah.
It's all about strategy, how you place yourself, how you move, and it's always kind of knowing where you want to go. People kind of just bounce back off of the opinions of other people, like, oh, you should go here because of this, and people make these crazy decisions whereby they don't have a final goal or outcome.
Yeah.
And if you reverse engineer your entire goal, you already have ahead of time what you want to do in life, and you operate based off of that. So Puerto Rico for me is a strategic move based off of what I did in my career, right? Like at 0% capital gains tax, sure, I'll spend 4 years in Puerto Rico
makes
because it
sense.
makes sense for
All the
me.
crypto.
Correct. But another person, it may not make sense to pay less than 16%, 20% less tax because they could lose massive opportunity here.
Yeah.
So that
So
makes sense.
Usually the guys that are out there are the guys that are going for like huge exits or already have like a big operating system.
yeah.
Going for like $1 million, $2 million. I wouldn't say it's worth it. Like it's paradise, but it's also an island. So you have the limitations of what it means to live on an island.
Facts.
It's pretty sick.
Before we keep going, kind of want to intro how this pod started, who our guest is today.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Luke Belmar with us. And this just kind of happened. It's funny because you this morning
Yeah. So
just did someone like tagged us and was like, "You guys got to get Luke Belmar on." Okay, I follow him. That's cool. And then you tweeted it maybe a couple hours later, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's in Miami. Whatever. Let's set it up." And you were like, "Dude, I got today. This is it."
Yeah, I literally have today. I'm just in Miami because it's the only place where you can actually pit stop to go back to Puerto Rico or to leave Puerto Rico. So this is kind of the pit stop every couple days.
I love it. Yeah. It was super funny because I was on a boat yesterday and drinking a little bit. I'm a little bit hungover today just for
You look good, bro. No worries.
transparency. But I woke up this morning, like, up a little bit later, whatever, and woke up still pretty early, like 7:45. And I wake up and do my thing, and then when I check my phone, I have a DM, and it's like a long time follower. He'd been in my DMs for a while, and he DM'd me. He's like, "Dude, Luke Belmar's in Miami. You should get him on the pod. Like your guys' content and his content's like changed my life. It would be such a cool pod. I would love to see it." And then I reposted it and tagged you. I was like, "Yo, you down?" Like I feel like it's really useful when it's very organic like that, and people are like almost making the connection for
Yeah,
us.
the communities understand where the synergy lies, which is good.
100%. And so it's just, yeah, then you posted the tweet and here we are.
You know,
4 hours later.
I'm super curious how this internet persona of yours kind of developed because it's almost like you came out of nowhere a little bit in the past like maybe 6 months. Your first YouTube video was what, 4 or 5 months ago or something. I was checking it out. And you're kind of a newer name to the space. A lot of these guys, that post this stuff have been out there, but you're decently big, right? Like, a couple 100,000 followers every platform, and you just kind of popped up almost out of nowhere. So like, what's that story? Like, what's behind that?
So, have you heard the story of the bamboo?
No.
So the bamboo spends its first 5 years growing under the earth,
Uh-huh.
but it's still growing. And then
Yep.
within 5 weeks, it shoots up yards and yards up in the sky. Nobody saw it coming, but the bamboo knew that in due time things would occur. So I've been around.
Of course.
I've just been underground.
It's kind of like us.
So
We haven't been posting like that until now.
it's seasons,
Yeah.
It's understanding that there's a time and place for everything, and there's a time and place to open up your mouth and speak, and there's a time to work. And I wanted to be in a situation where I didn't have what is commonly known as imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
which is this lack of belief in oneself. So what I needed to do was go on my quest and earn that self-respect that allowed me to open up my mouth, and not based off of what other people say or what other people think I am, but who I believe that I am, who I believe that I become because of my career. So I spent the first couple years under the ground, like the bamboo, and now we're just enjoying the ride.
I love it.
We'll see where we go.
I love it. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
27.
27. Okay. And it's because I was watching some of your stuff. Like, he called me. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this pod." I was cool. And so I'm watching some of your stuff. Just, I always like to get some background info. And like, there was a podcast clip on TikTok where you kind of went through your whole story of 16 leaving Argentina. We were talking about Argentina because it's amazing if you have dollars. And you left at 16. Like, when did things really pop off for you with all the trading stuff or e-com? Like, what year, how old were you?
Yeah, so I was telling one of my buddies, we were sitting down and talking, and utilizing this concept of what time is,
Mm-hmm.
and this idea that like I made it on a specific time frame or on a specific date. There's no such thing as making it. It's more so like there wasn't this initial success.
Mhm.
It was, I'm in this journey that I started the moment I was born, right? So that's the moment the quest started. I know it sounds crazy, but that's when you need to reverse engineer what your entire life has been and how everything is lined up to be who you are today. Because everything where you are today is where you chose to be,
Yeah.
right? And it was your choice, whether it was your subconscious mind or your conscious mind doing it. So to answer your question, the journey's been ever since I felt like an anomaly, right? You look at the school system, you see how people operate, and you realize that something isn't clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you just forge your own path.
100%.
So yeah, I came to America at the age of 16, started pressure washing basketball courts, cleaning toilets, working in kitchens.
Were you
And-
alone?
Yeah, I was alone.
Okay.
I was alone. Had $200, but it was worth it. And at the end of the day, like, what do you have to lose? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to die. Like, you're going to die anyway. Like, the outcome is the same for everybody. So why not just go for it? And I went for it and it worked. And for a lot of people, it doesn't work. I think the big differentiator is the self-education process of not only introducing new information that the school system doesn't give you, or that your parents don't give you, or that the system doesn't give you, but also that the detox process of all the stuff that you've been taught that is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Because you look at people's day-to-day behaviors and you start realizing that a lot of why people are where they are today is because of their subconscious behavior. You look at all the programming, like, people think that laziness or not doing your task or not picking up a book or not exercising is 100% their fault. No, there's something called conditioning.
Yes.
Right? There's something called conditioning, and people have been conditioned to lose. And it's from that conditioning that you must kind of unlock yourself to then recondition your mind. Because if you don't program yourself, somebody will program you.